In today's video, we're going to be going over some expert level fragrances that I think every collector who's pretty serious about this hobby should consider looking into and adding to their collection at some point. What is an expert level fragrance? Well, to be honest with you, it's completely subjective. We're looking to reach beyond the blues, beyond the overly sweet type of scents. So we're trying to get out of the realm of Dior Sauvage, Dylan Blue, Armani Stronger With You, that sort of thing. We're trying to dive into some things that maybe are a little bit more complex, maybe bring a little bit more to the table and are a little bit more unique. As always, we just have a completely wide variety. Spring, summer, fall, winter, formal, casual, niche, designer, all of that stuff. Now we're gonna get things kicked off with a true gentleman's classic. It's from by far the most popular mainstream niche brand, but to me this is 1000% still worth owning in 2025 heading into 2026. It's Creed Green Irish Tweed. If you were to buy one or two Creeds, make them Green Irish Tweed and then take your pick. I would probably pick Aventus. In fact, I simply know that I would, but your mileage may vary. You might prefer Silver Mountain Water or Viking or literally anything, right? But I think Green Irish Tweed is a universal must-have. I think that for most people on a big scale, this would work better for a wider variety of people than Aventus would. Aventus is by far one of the most popular ones, the most complimented one, whatever. But there are some people who don't like Aventus. It's very hard to find people that dislike how Green Irish Tweed smells. This is truly a classic icon. You gotta have it. To me, Davidoff Cool Water, it doesn't cut it. It doesn't fit the bill. It's cheap smelling. And honestly, if you don't want to spend the money on Green Irish Tweed, which I understand not everybody wants to spend over $200, get Armaf Très Nuit, get Al Haramain Amber Oud Carbon Edition. One of those two. You're going to be spending significantly less, anywhere from $20 to $40 depending on which version that you get, respectively, in their order there. It's going to be cheaper than this. Get something like that. Skip on Cool Water. Get this DNA in your collection. To me, it's something that you cannot go wrong with. Just green, soapy, fresh, vibrant, has a little bit of iris, beautiful lemon verbena, a lot of ambergris, but no, it is not a blue fragrance, right? This is it's way before the blue fragrance era, nothing like that. But just, again, most people understand what this smells like at this point, but if you don't, it's hard to describe other than simply try it. Sample this, buy a bottle, try it in store, purchase one of the two clones that I mentioned, and you're gonna be off to a great start. This next one is from Givenchy. Make a lot of great fragrances. This one is Gentleman's Society Ombre. Currently, I believe it's the newest of the Society lineup. They're kind of branching out of the Gentleman lineup and starting to put out some flankers within this line. This one has tobacco, vanilla, Peru balsam, balsamic, rich, sweet, smoky, mysterious, seductive. It's a really, really nice fall and winter scent. I didn't say it, but the Green Irish Tweed Creed is obviously going to be spring oriented. It's kind of widely known as such. And this is going to be more appropriate for this time of year, fall heading into winter when it really starts cooling off. This is one to reach for. It's worlds better than the original Society, in my opinion, but yet also is quite a bit different too. So that's why there's a pretty big disconnect between this and the original. This one is significantly more rich, a lot more going on, and it still is a designer. Of course, it still is a good compliment puller, or it's in that mass-pleasing genre, but at the same time, it stands out enough to where it kind of goes against the grain, kind of gives you something new and unique and exciting to wear and experience, which is kind of rare these days coming from a designer brand, especially Givenchy, which they don't really get too crazy with their scents. They keep it pretty simple for the most part, but Gentleman Reserve Privé, Society Ombre, a couple releases that show you that they have the capability to really branch out and create some next level scents. And so I hope they keep it up. You can get this one for right around $100 on discounters right now. I highly recommend it. Kind of flip-flopping back over into the spring summer category here with this Brioni Eau de Parfum Eclat, beautiful frosted glass. One of my favorite flankers in the entire lineup, which is saying something because, well, pretty much all of them are good. I would say actually my least favorite is probably Suave. Everything else, the Intense, Essentiel, just even the original, right? They're all really good. And of course, this one comes in as well, ranking really high. So it has grapefruit musk, rose, and pink pepper in here. So light, kind of watery, fresh, musky, and then a bit floral as well. Emphasis on the term light. It is just a light, refreshing, and again, watery, easygoing type of spring scent. You know, when it comes down to it, this isn't loaded up with a bunch of excess like filler notes to where it gets it to be, you know, too woody or too sweet or too something. It's just really well balanced, which makes it perfect for spring and summer when you're fighting that heat and you don't want a fragrance that is loaded up with a ton of excess notes that you don't really need. Makes the scent kind of muddled in that heat. This one, it keeps it simple. You know, really nice musk and citrus, a little bit of florals, and that is it for this one. And that's why it works so well. At the same time, does not smell like any other spring, summer scent that I have in my collection and that I've tried. So this is one that stands out big time. Very rare for spring and summer scents. A lot of the freshies, a lot of the citruses, a lot of the aquatics, they kind of smell the same sometimes. This one does not. Not often that you get that from a designer brand, but we do here. And I believe price point usually looking at about $60 or so. So not a bad price at all for this one. This is a 100 ml bottle. I mentioned already it's an eau de parfum as well. Decent performance, not a beast mode scent. Wouldn't really expect it to be given the nature of it, but really, really impressive high quality for such a great price. This next one is Bvlgari Man Wood Essence. This one has lemon zest, cypress, cedar wood, and some citrus going on in there as well. So obviously you kind of have an understanding of where this one's gonna go based off of the name and even just the color of the bottle, that kind of green look that's on the inside there. It's actually the liquid itself officially. You can see right through there, it's clear. You got the liquid that has the tint to it, which actually this presentation looks really cool. A woody, earthy, citrusy scent. Basically, the lemon zest gives you a nice bright pop off the opening along with that citrus, and then you pretty quickly get into the woods and the cypress and some of the aromatic, darker, greener notes to go along with it. This is another one that's kind of fitting into that spring category. It's a bit too woody and heavy to wear in summer, at least for my personal preference, and nowhere near as sweet to wear in wintertime. Fall, it could work, but I find a green woody scent to be better for spring, and I prefer kind of my sweeter, somewhat gourmand / warm spicy scents to start ramping up in fall. So that just leaves spring for this one for me in terms of what I have available. That's kind of where I slot this one in at, but it smells great. Yet another one that stands out in a great way. Let's keep it moving with Ralph's Club Elixir. You would not expect something like this to be in a video like this. I fully understand, but until you try this one, you just probably won't really see what the hype is about. This one has iris, lavender, and leather. So you still get some of the sage, some of the lavender, all of those usual notes that are within the Ralph's Club lineup. But again, the iris, the leather, now we're getting into the good stuff. That's what makes this one stand out so much. It's smooth, it's rich, it's leathery, it's masculine smelling. Plenty of woods going on as well. A little slight bit of like a creaminess coming from that iris, of course, but even mixing with that leather, it just blends really well. This is really, really nice. It is so much better than I thought it was going to be because, again, the original Ralph's Club, nothing wrong with it. The Eau de Parfum, which is the original, and as you start going through the flankers, they're all really good, to be fair. Would I place any of the other ones in this type of video, expert level? No, I wouldn't. You know, those are a little bit too mainstream. This takes a really big shift and kind of gives you something a lot more interesting. Again, you wouldn't expect it because it's a flanker within this lineup, but I'm telling you, you might be thoroughly impressed if you did try this one out. I recommend it, and prices come down a lot these days. I believe discounters, I've seen testers for $50, $60, so, you know, really not too bad. Nice upgraded presentation as well with the little plaque in the center there. Just everything about it sharp, hinged cap as well. Highly recommend this one too. This next one is Versace Oud Noir. Super wearable designer oud. You could look at it as a cheaper version of Tom Ford Oud Wood. Are they completely similar, or, you know, is this a clone of Oud Wood? Nope. However, it's a designer oud. It's wearable, it's mild, and it's a fraction of the cost. You know, it gives you a similar vibe. It gets you in that ballpark just for less. And again, there are actual clones of oud wood out there if you wanted to go that direction, but not everybody wants to go for a clone. You might want a name brand Versace, right? And you might want something that is still wearable and woody and more for fall and winter time. This fits the bill. You know, when it comes down to it, Versace, they make a lot of great fragrances at amazing prices. The entire Eros lineup, Versace Pour Homme, Dylan Blue, all amazing. This is going to be one of the more expensive ones, usually at around $70 on discounters. Everything else typically is around $50 or so, give or take. To be honest with you, this smells like a $70, $80 scent. It doesn't smell like something that is cheap. It doesn't smell like something that is overly expensive niche either. It's for what it falls at on discounters, it's right in line. I don't think that you would be overpaying for this, buying it for 70 bucks. I think it's worth every penny. Just again, nice, wearable, you know, high quality oud for such a great price. All right, we're gonna start to wind things down. We got one more niche fragrance here. This one is Amouage Interlude Black Iris. This one has olibanum, oud, leather, myrrh, and of course, iris. What a great take. The iris trend, it was going pretty good, and you know, Amouage had to get in there and do their take. Still has that signature smoky, woody, earthy interlude smell. Spicy, again, smoky, rich, very, very potent. Not for everybody. Don't go crazy rushing into this one here for sure. You got to know what you like. However, it is a lot more wearable than the original Interlude. And by default, it's also way more wearable than Interlude 53 Extrait, which I also have, which is just even more insane and crazy and out there than the original. Not that it needed to be, but yet it exists anyway. This was them kind of taking this DNA and, I don't know, maybe making it a little bit more approachable. Again, this is still not something that everybody's gonna like, that everybody's gonna rock with, and you want to approach it with caution. Blind buy would be risky if you don't know what you like. If you like the original Interlude, then this is a no-brainer. You would like this because it's very similar, just smoother and introducing some iris. So that part makes sense. But again, if you don't have any experience with these types of scents, I urge you to be careful. However, I would definitely say this is a pro-level scent. This is something that if you can pull this off, man, you are going to be smelling amazing. You're going to stand out. You're going to turn heads. You got to rock it with confidence. There are going to be people who don't like it. You got to take it on the chin and you got to keep going. Don't go wash it off. Don't go scrub it off. Don't get upset and feel, you know, like defeated or anything like that. It doesn't matter, right? You like it. That's why you're wearing it. There will be people who like it, but there will also be people who don't. Scents that you get the best reactions with oftentimes are going to be a little bit polarizing, and this is one of them. And last up for this video is Terre d'Hermes Eau Intense Vetiver. Obviously has bitter orange and vetiver, woody notes, and that's basically it, really. It's the Terre d'Hermes DNA, just focusing more on vetiver, which it already had. A little bit more soapy in this instance. Still very dry, still very earthy, but introducing more of a soapy vetiver to make it a little bit more approachable, to use that term again, basically lightening up that pre-existing very earthy, woody, and dry smell. It's still getting that kind of brightness off the opening to some extent, but it's not too crazy here. It's not like Eau Tres Fresh or Eau Givray. It's still maintaining a mostly dry atmosphere. But it is yet another great signature scent, great everyday soapy vetiver, work scent, going to school, running errands, that sort of thing. Something that, again, not everybody will like to pull off, but those who do enjoy it, you know, it is a great way to stand out as well. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. Some expert level scents that I think those of you who want to take your collection to the next level should consider. Links will be down below. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.